Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. Hope you guys are all doing well. In today's video, I'm very happy to say I have another special guest on the channel for you guys. His name is Elite Sparky, and he is here playing Xbow at top ladder. So, it is currently the third week or so of the season, I believe, and he is at top 200 in the world, above 2,700 rating points or medals in Ultimate Champion League. So today, he's going to be showcasing some Xbow Cycle gameplay, and I'm pretty happy to get him on because he actually reached out to me first, as we were up against a Mirage, this guy who is looking like he's not actually playing anything. He plays a night down like 40 seconds into the match. It looks like he misses the Xbow with the fireball as well. It looks like he was like AFK or disconnected or whatever, but the game is pretty much over at this point, and Mirage is obviously not happy. Looks like he's playing some kind of Goblin Giant Sparky deck. But yeah, he actually reached out to me a few days ago, and he was top 100 with 3.0 Xbow Cycle. I obviously missed the message, unfortunately. Well, not obviously, but I unfortunately missed the message, and I wasn't able to get that gameplay on. But I told him, you know, I'm sorry for missing the message, but if you'd like to play again for the channel, I'd be really happy to have you on. I believe this is the first time I'm getting him on my channel. And yeah, he's been playing Xbow for a while. He is playing QueenBow right now with the Rocket, as you guys can see. That is a slap in the face for Mirage, as usually if you were playing Fireball, that would be a decent play to Sparky the back like that, but Rocket is just like salt in the wound at this point with how much elixir and damage Mirage is down. Goes for a Desperation Goblin Giant Minions push, which is actually a good push because, as you can see, Minions are one of the weak spots of this deck without having a Fireball. That's pretty rough to deal with, of course. Sparky's pretty much in the lead, and the game is his to lose right now. Like, it's pretty much over. But he did get a fair amount of damage, did Mirage, from that push. But yeah, he's playing QueenBow, guys, and very interesting, he's actually playing with Elite, or Evolved, rather, Skeletons, which I find very interesting, because I do not think they're stronger than Knight at all. I personally would recommend Evo Knight over Skeletons in QueenBow, but Sparky has different ideas. I'm not sure if it's because he doesn't have Knight unlocked. I feel like he does. Maybe he literally just prefers Evo Skeles. Maybe we'll see him do crazy things with the Evo Skeles in this video. Who knows? As they come down right there, and they do die to the arrows, but for only one elixir, that was an absurd amount of value. Fireball comes down, but damage is done on defense, and that was still another clean defense, you guys can see. Even if this game was, even if Sparky did not take the tower, this is a pretty good Xbow. Even if you didn't like get a huge lead early on, this would be a good Xbow to pressure with, and defensive Xbow supporting as well. This would be a good push. Also outcycling the Goblin Giant. This would lock, yep, it locks, and that would be pretty much game-winning damage anyways, I believe. So, still a pretty good example of how to play from Sparky. And yeah, I'm just going to be getting, I told him maybe we can get about 5 games or so, hopefully go for around top 100 in the world. It is pretty nice to have someone really high on ladder with Xbow, because Xbow is really bad right now. I'll talk more about that in the next match, but yeah, very nice first win. Of course, it was pretty lucky that the opponent wasn't here, but still, a win is a win. Nice first match of the video. Alright guys, into our next match against P.E.K.K.A, and yeah, as to what I was saying before, I am happy to get Sparky on the channel. Always happy to get special guests on, by the way. I usually get my friends on, like say Betfist, Titan, all the best players, but Sparky's another good player. He has a 101 best Path of Legends finish. He has another top 200 with it on ladder. He has top 100 GT as well. I'm not sure if they were done with Xbow or something else, but either way, a top 100 pretty much is a top 100, so we are up against Minor Poison for this second match here. Pretty bad matchup for any Xbow deck. And on that note, speaking of bad matchups for Xbow, they are pretty much littered all around right now. I really feel like Xbow is a very weak deck at the moment, which is why I find it very impressive that people like Sparky are able to get high at all. I mean, I am currently at about 2,300 or so medals, like top 1.3k. I did a small little push with 3.0 Xbow Cycle after tilting for a while earlier, but I am not really that motivated to push this season. Like, I was going into it. I feel like I always am. Then I see what the meta's like, and I'm like, oh my god, this is just quite a joke. This is disgusting. This is terrible. What am I doing with my life? So it's always also less stressful to obviously spectate top ladder gameplay than play it yourself. I think anyone would agree on that. And I love just commentating over like good players. I really do love it, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. Let me know if you guys would like to see more special guest features. I can definitely try and get more Xbow Cycle at top ladder on the channel. Of course, I'll do a few more ladder pushes myself this season, but always a welcome change of pace. Nice early pressure from Sparky coming down, as we'll get into the play-by-play now. So as for the deck, I do feel like QueenBow is the best Xbow Cycle deck in the meta right now. I mean, 3.0 is my favorite, and I actually am having more success with 3.0, funnily enough, over QueenBow. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just more used to 3.0. Maybe it just fits my playstyle better. I obviously love both. My best finish is with QueenBow, but 3.0, my best GT finishes are all with 3.0 actually, and my QueenBows are like top 200, top 300-ish. So yeah, I feel like both decks kind of work, but QueenBow is probably better. And when I say kind of work, I mean if you want to play Xbow, that is what you can do. But like honestly guys, honest opinion, we play Xbow because we love the deck, not because it's a good deck. Like I can tell you right now, if you're a new player trying to get into this game, Xbow is going to be a super uphill battle because it's very bad in the meta. It's pretty weak and the developers never really buff it or give it any love. Literally ever. Like we have not seen a direct Xbow touch in like 3 years since they last nerfed the Xbow, which they called a rework, but it was a straight up nerf. And so this deck is not doing very well. That's why, again, I'm always happy to get top ladder people playing the deck because it is impressive to do well with a deck like this, if, in my opinion, for anyone. Even me, if I get like a top 100, top 500, top 1k ladder push, I'm always happy with it because Xbow is not that easy to play. Anyways, we are seeing a pretty even match right now. I feel like we're probably going to see Sparky pressure more in the left, and so this is Minor Poison. Again, a pretty bad matchup, and the reason you want to go opposite lane in this matchup is because they can get a poison on your Xbow and your weak side tower. So right on cue right there, Sparky does go for the Xbow in the left, as I said, because if he goes in the right, you know what the opponent's going to do. He's going to get free poison on the Xbow plus the right side tower, which is obviously weaker on HP. So pretty good Xbow pressure right now. We might see a poison forced out. Looks like the opponent's just trying to stall the Xbow out. Almost catches the Miner with the Knight, but does not. But still going to get a baby Xbow lock. Actually, pretty good stuff. Good offensive pressure by Sparky here. And you can see this deck does not really fall behind in offensive pressure. He has not played his Rocket yet the whole game. Obviously, can't really Rocket on like a Little Prince, where he could with a Fireball. But still, good pressure, and we are going to see the first defensive Xbow of the match now. Unfortunately, E-Spirit does go a little bit too high to attack the Miner, but one Queen hit does come down for our troubles, and you can see Sparky was always planning on stacking Xbows like this, so defensive and offensive Xbow doubled down. Definitely going to have to see a poison come out, yup, and this is again the beauty of going opposite lane in a matchup like this, because you can pressure. And I feel like pretty soon we might see Sparky switch to Rocket Cycle, because Rocket actually does outdamage Poison in terms of the spell cycle. The one exception, of course, is if the opponent has a Little Prince with a 3-card cycle down, but I think Rocket still is the highest damage to elixir ratio card in the game. Rocket right there, perfect Rocket, as we are seeing poisons forced out on the Xbow still in the left. So I'd feel like now we're going to see like maybe 2 more poisons come down by the opponent in the right, and Sparky's just going to go full defense mode. So LP's there, Tesla to catch everything, Miner's at the back, so that's going to be quite a bit of damage actually. Miner poison, you do not want to underestimate that damage, but Rocket comes down and that should be enough to win the game. Second Miner is down, I think second poison is here as well, but Sparky did get the damage. Yeah, that's not going to be enough to take it. It's going to be very close. Another Miner coming down, so much spam, but Sparky does come out with the win. Very clutch, close win by 100 HP, very well played again, pressured opposite even though he had a lead in the right. You guys know what I was telling you, we always have to pressure opposite against Miner, and then some nice clean Rocket Cycle to clean it up in triple. Alright guys, and Sparky is 1 win away from 2800 now, closing in on the top 150, which is really good, against Parsa M, one of the better Lava players, I'd say, right now, as it is matched with an Xbow by Sparky. We're going to see a Tesla and E-Spirit to actually reset this eye drag and keep the Xbow alive, which I do like this play. It's pretty aggressive, but this Tesla's going to help out against the Lava Hound as well, and get the Xbow quite a bit more damage. Xbow's getting the tower all the way down to 1500, and so Sparky is in kind of a bad spot. I mean, there's a pretty much full or half HP Lava Hound that's about to pop and become pups. But Balloon does come down, and I think Parsa does not know Sparky has a Rocket right now. That's going to be a fat Rocket, and that is actually going to perfectly defend the entire push for no damage. Barbs come down, Queen comes down to match, no log, just Queen Skeles, and Parsa gives the wow. Perfect defense by Sparky. Good game as well given by Parsa. I believe Parsa M is a Lava Freeze player. I might be wrong. I've actually seen him, I think I've played him before and he had Lava Freeze. He was pretty high, but if he is playing Freeze, obviously that's really bad against Sparky's deck. Really good Lava by Parsa M there, keeping the Skeleton Dragon alive, but the bad news is that he played that so high and at quite a low amount of elixir, so he actually cannot support this, and that's going to be perfect defense again, and Parsa actually gives up. So I don't know if he has Freeze or Zap, like knowing him it could be either, but he does give up, and I feel like that's kind of fair. I mean, Queen is so good against this Lava Hound deck, guys, because they don't have a big spell. I really doubt he has a Fireball in here. It's pretty much always like arrows plus Zap, or maybe arrows plus Rage in some rare instances, or maybe arrows Lightning in like very few instances, and arrows Freeze if you're a madman like Parsa M. I guess we'll never know because he gave up. He's not going to play it, but he does throw in the towel, and I think that is fair, because Sparky, if he defends well for the rest of the game, this is pretty much his game to take. He does a really good job in this match, I'd say, of early pressure. Like, I would not have really done that Tesla E-Spirit retargeting on the eye drag myself. I probably would have let the Xbow die, but because of that, Sparky was able to just get a perfect defense after the fact with the rocket, while also being up like 2,500 damage, and that pretty much just won him the game right from the get-go. Alright guys, top 132 in the world now against P.E.K.K.A. This is a really good player, usually known for Bridgespam, and I believe, I didn't see his profile, but I'm pretty sure he has like top 50 finishes on ladder. Very good player again, and we do see a ghost, so it is going to be some kind of Bridgespam by P.E.K.K.A. And I think, honestly, Skeles might get a lot of value in this matchup. Evo Knight would as well, of course, but Skeles too. Nice Queen placement by Sparky, nice Xbow as well. This actually might be a big lock, because he has the Knight and the Queen supporting. Last second Ram comes down, probably going to see like a log on that, maybe even just let it go, as Queen does have her ability, which is going to get popped right now, and then that should be a lock. Okay, Knight comes down. Honestly, dare I say that was a misplay by Sparky. I probably would have thought that Knight on the Ghost would have been a better play to protect the Xbow, and also the Xbow would have killed those Barbs afterwards. Nonetheless though, wow, Sparky going with the Evo Skeles behind the Knight, and that's going to take the entire tower. Jesus Christ. Okay, so scrap what I said about a misplay. Even if that might have been a better situation for the Xbow, Sparky was playing 4D chess there, not checkers, and instead of going for the Xbow lock, he's like, okay, well, I forced out the rage, I still defended the Ram perfectly in the left, now I'm going to punish with the Evo Skeles knowing that you don't have a spell in hand, and that's exactly what he does, and that's pretty much a good game. I mean, he took the entire tower, and that is the beauty of Evo Skeles, guys. If you get them with the right cycle, if you punish well, they can pretty much win you the game, literally. So Queen comes down with the ability, Ice or E-Spirit to take the Heal Spirit, and that is going to be a dead Ghost, and that's going to be a good game, which I really like, this early pressure by Sparky. I feel like as this match goes on, Sparky would probably have a decent matchup. I mean, Tesla, defensive Xbows can work, Evo Skeles can put in work too, but I do believe that it would have been a bit tricky as well, because Marcher, not having a fireball for the Marcher is a bit annoying, and I just learned that Queen ability plus log full counters E-Barb, so that's a good interaction to remember, guys. That is a nice defense by Sparky there. Might see defensive Xbow now. Yep, we do, because this deck P.E.K.K.A. is playing Bridgespam. Always kind of been a meta deck, lurking in the shadows. Not like meta, but it's always kind of been viable. You'll notice it doesn't have a big spell, and so a big way you can punish that with Xbow, whether it's through Pano or any Xbow deck like this QueenBow deck, is with defensive Xbows, and that's exactly what Sparky does. E-Spirit log, Queen ability going to be forced out probably early. Actually, not really, but we'll just see a Knight for that. Oh, beautiful kite by Sparky. I'm never really confident to do that myself, honestly, that kite on the Queen. And oh, one Evo Skeles survives, almost saying FU to that rage, but it does still die to the Knight. But perfect defense again. Stacked Teslas, log for the Heal Spirit. Nice defense by Sparky. Just immaculate Evo Skeles punish. I guess that goes to show how you can use Evo Skeles in Xbow, guys. And Titan did this in his double evolution top 25 finish as well. It reminds me of that. I don't really have an Evo Skeles emote. I'm trying to find one. But yeah, very nice stuff by Sparky nonetheless. And that is exactly how you punish without Xbow. You can still win. Alright guys, found our next game against Obito. Oh, I recognize this guy. Pretty sure he's like a Bridgespam player, like Mega Knight Ram, I want to say. I usually spectate a lot of top ladder, so I do see people play against the same people here and there. We do see an Inferno Dragon, looks like it is going to be that deck. I mean, Mega Knight, yep, eye drag, poison, so he also has a Barb Barrel, he has a Snowball, good Xbow, knowing that Obito does not have enough for the Mega Knight in time. Log comes out, but unfortunately, Ewiz is alive on 1 HP. Speaking of 1 HP, though, this Queen is going to town in the left. I would say that was a mistake of a Snowball on the Xbow, because what would have been better to take? Either that 1,300 damage by the Queen, or like, say, 300-400 from an Xbow. Obviously, it's the latter. And so, huge Queen punish coming down. Nice last-second ability, guys. When you're playing your Queen on offense, almost always remember to use the ability, because you can get so much value. Even if you force out a spell, unless you know for a fact they're going to spell it preemptively, then you know it's just going to die. Then you don't really need to, but it's always nice to, in case you get them like Sparky did just now. That honestly might have won him the game right there. Like, this kind of damage is enough to win him the game in a matchup like this, just because the lead is 1,000 right now, and Sparky's playing Rocket, so even if the opponent tries to like do something with like big MK pushes, I think Sparky can defend and just Rocket Cycle and triple. Which, on that note, I haven't talked about it much in this video yet, but Sparky's one of the only Xbow players I see playing Rocket right now. I think he just likes it more. I love Rocket too. I got my second best ladder finish with QueenBow Rocket Cannon, but I just feel like Rocket is not that strong after the tower damage nerf it got quite a while ago, so I haven't used it myself at all. But I guess you can make it work if you really want to, like Sparky right now is definitely making it work. Anyways, Queen is going to full defend that Mega Knight. No hits taken, as an Xbow comes down on the left as well. Knight to match, and let's see what happens. Snowball, Evo Skeles for the Knight. We're going to have to see a Barbarian forced out, and it misses that one skeleton, so lots of value from the Evo Skeles. Log is going to get a nice lock, but look at the damage in the right, guys. I wasn't even looking. The opponent was so distracted by that Evo Skeles Xbow light show there that he did not remember to defend the Queen, and that was really good dual lane pressure by Sparky as well, and the opponent is going to give up right there. Wow, that's our second give up of the video, technically third if you count like the first guy DCing at the start, but that was really impressive actually, like really good dual lane pressure. That's something that I made a video guide about as well, where you want to pressure opposite with Queen and Xbow sometimes. Same lane is also really good, but opposite lane pressure is not to be underestimated with this deck, because it's just so solid, and you can see right there, it can win you the game, as it did Sparky in this match, if you do it well. So just spreading them thin in elixir and resources, pressuring in both lanes, a very good way to have success with this deck. Alright guys, 2820, 136 in the world right now. Sparky is going for 2850, which would be a really good point, I would say. We get a lock right there. Wow, nice lock. I was not looking actually, so that's going to be... I was a bit late to this match, unfortunately. I wish I saw what led to this sequence. We can kind of infer from the cards played, so I guess opponent cycled to LP the back, Sparky went Xbow, opponent would like cannon on it, I guess, or low cannon, I don't remember. Nonetheless, the damage lead is not that big anymore, because the opponent did go for an EQ on the Tesla, and he does get quite a lot of P.E.K.K.A damage, so I'm glad to see it actually. I did not want to see like a lead from the start that we missed, so this is pretty much close to an even game again, and let's see how Sparky handles this matchup. Probably going to see a Rocket on defense here, because he did outcycle the Tesla, did the opponent. Yep, so Rocket does full counter P.E.K.K.A. It's a -1 trade, but you do what you have to do. Tesla comes down. This is not looking great, I guess, because LP is going to survive. We'll probably just see... Okay, nice log, actually. That's going to be one hit from the LP. Yeah, no more than one hit. It's actually acceptable. Sparky's down elixir, unfortunately, but at least he survived. And so this matchup, I've actually seen this played before, and I feel like it could go either way, because not having a fireball does hurt. I mean, fireball against P.E.K.K.A is better than Rocket against P.E.K.K.A. It's +1 as opposed to -1, and it almost full defends them. Also, you can fireball cycle. You can also get a fireball value on the Little Prince, for example. You can get a fireball on the cannons low sometimes. So I feel like Fireball is better, but on the other hand, Rocket, again, highest elixir, or highest damage per elixir of any spell on towers. So we might see some Rocket Cycle coming out from Sparky in this match here. Of course, I think he's going to play pretty aggressively. Nice E-Spirit as well, chaining onto the tower. Going to see a Tesla. No, we're going to see a Rocket. Okay, wow, Rocket comes down. Really good value, actually. Does clip the Guardian as well, so not really having to worry about any kind of risky counter push. Ice Spirit Skeles come down. That is not going to be enough. Nice by Sparky. Nice Evo Skeles light show again. And that is going to melt those pigs. Going to be an EQ forced out. But that damage is done. And I think Sparky won the game off of that now, because he's going opposite lane. It's the same principle against the minor poison deck, guys. You don't really want to go same lane in any of these matchups. Especially if you're playing with Xbow. Like, you can still, I guess, have a long con strategy of going for same lane like Spell Cycle, but you still always want to pressure opposite with your Xbows for the most part to prevent spell value on your weak side tower. That's just a very common principle with Xbow Cycle. But since Sparky did get that beautiful punish and getting so much damage in the right, he is pretty much going to have this game all cut out for him now, because all he has to do is keep pressuring as he's doing right now. Good catch on the cannon as well. E-Spirit's going to chain on those Evo Skeles. Hopefully they don't take the tower like Sparky's did in that match against P.E.K.K.A. Yeah, one is there. Wait, that Evo Skeles is going to force out a Knight just by itself. Good defense by the opponent. Honestly, like, you can't really break through a good opponent playing this Pigs deck. Might see a Rocket, or actually probably... Okay, no Rocket needed, actually. I also remembered that's a really high HP tower, so Sparky elects to just defend with Truce, which I really like as well, because he's going to get a dual lane pressure opportunity right now, guys. We might see an Xbow to the right, yup, because Queen's going to force out a response on the left as well. Delivery by itself is not enough. We're going to see delivery, but it's not enough. Ice Spirit as well, still not enough. We might see like 2 Queen hits right there, and a baby Xbow lock in the right, so we get 3 Queen hits in the left, about 500 or more in the right from the Xbow. Really good dual end pressure again. That's the second time this has really paid off for Sparky, and I hope you guys are taking this away if you want to play QueenBow. That is something you just have to do with this deck, and that is pretty much going to seal the deal again. We're going into triple now. Sparky can go for the queen, is probably going to get EQ cycled, but EQ doesn't do that much damage to troops, so he should be good. Pigs come down predicting an Xbow. Not going to get it though. And it looks like the opponent's actually trying to switch lanes to the right for whatever reason, but that's not going to bode well for him because, I mean, damage is already done. I believe Sparky did not go for the ability on that queen there, so he just lets it go. And good night, actually. That seemed kind of low, but it does actually protect the Tesla from that cannon, so really important here, guys. These anti-EQ Teslas you see Sparky going for, they're going to be protected as well by stuff like the knight, especially right there again, protecting against the little prince's rapid damage. We'll also see it protecting against the cannon sometimes, and you just always want to protect them because it forces them to go for an EQ high or just deal with the Tesla and not be able to EQ at all. Rocket comes down last second, might see a Tesla last second as well. Yup, very well played, guys. Very good win. Finally, like a nice full minute a game. I mean, the minor one was as well, but finally a nice one that the opponent didn't give up against kind of a tricky matchup. I'd say that's like close-ish to even, but it's definitely not Xbow's counter with how many responses they have to the Xbow. So very nice win by Sparky. Should be top 150 for sure now. Alright guys, I don't know why I said top 150. That's 117. Beautiful stuff by Sparky. So basically top 120 in the world. He was already like 136 before that, I believe. But still very nice stuff, you know, Sparky doing work. And we're going for another win. I think whether this is a win or a loss, we'll call it here, because I am also quite busy. I have stuff to do. But this has been a very nice ladder push so far by Sparky. We're going to see a nice early lock. No, we're not. Last second knight comes down to catch. Unfortunately, another one of these minor matchups, guys. It's going to be a very bad matchup again. Opponent does have a Tesla. I believe the last guy had a bomb tower, if I'm not mistaken. So you do see this deck running both, but basically, you know the drill. Like, this deck is literally everywhere. I actually do feel like this deck deserves a nerf. On that note, I might make a tweet asking when this deck's going to get nerfed, because I really do feel like it deserves one. I mean, it's so strong, it's so powerful. Anyways, though, Xbow comes down. Minor pressure from the opponent, but Xbow plus E-Spirit should put in work. Goblins too, but they are going to get kited and taken care of. Unfortunately, though, the opponent, managing a cycle very well, actually gets an Evo Knight down, so that is going to be very problematic for Sparky here. I think we'll have to see a Tesla. If I'm not mistaken, he did. Okay, we see a Queen instead. This is going to be a lot of damage, I think, because that Evo Knight shield is going to tank, yeah, like 5 Queen hits, and that is so much LP damage. Log comes down, but oh my god, that is like, yeah, 2,000 damage. I feel like maybe that was a bit of aggressive of an Xbow by Sparky, but at the same time, that's kind of what you have to do with this deck, because, in this matchup at least, because, like, you can't get a lock as the game progresses. It only gets worse for you. Anyways, nice pressure with this Queen. We might see a small Queen connection, although any damage on the left doesn't really matter. Bad log, but it really doesn't matter, because Sparky is not about to go same lane. As you can see, he's already going Xbow in the right, so that damage on the left is pretty much negligible, I'd say. Tesla does come down to catch, as we see the E-Spirit to retarget into the Evo Skeles, so pretty good stuff, actually. Evo Skeles are doing a great job. Oh, are they going to get on tower? Oh my god, are they going to win him the game? Wait, hold on. Really good log by the opponent. Oh man, I'm kind of sad. I was really hoping for another magical Evo Skeles moment where he would just take the entire tower, because I do feel like Sparky deserved it. Still, though, really good example of Evo Skeles. I mean, he literally just went E-Spirit Evo Skeles onto a Tesla, and they made it to the tower, so do not underestimate that card, guys. Another lock right here. Beautiful. That actually might be enough to get Sparky back in this match, because that is going to put him in the lead. Nonetheless, again, this is minor control we're talking about. All the opponent has to do is get a little prince down, and then you can make a Venn diagram of poisons and minor damage on the left side tower. So this is by no means over. LP does come down. Really good LP, actually, because if he didn't get that down, or the goblins, would have been another lock by Sparky in the right there, with that good knight to cut the Evo Knight out of range. Good log, killing the queen before the ability can get too much value. And the damage is so even right now, guys. Like, I feel like Sparky's just itching to rocket cycle. But at the same time, the opponent's just barely out of rocket cycle range. Like, I think a rocket does about 500 something. So 2 rockets does like maybe 1,100, I'd like to say. I don't know exactly. But of course, that's not enough against what is seen on the opponent's right side tower here. And so much damage coming in. We're definitely going to see a rocket right now, because the opponent goes for the poison. But can Sparky do it? Rocket log. I don't know exactly how much that did, but I don't think rocket logged to 702. So I think Sparky needs like 2 more rockets, honestly. Or like 2 more logs and a rocket, which I don't even know if that's enough as well. Going Gonna have to see a log on defense here for these goblins, yeah. And then Miner, good catch with a Tesla, really beautiful catch, but is it enough though? Still, so much damage coming in because Miner Poison is so broken. Gonna see a rocket right now, and we will have to see another rocket. Can Sparky get it? Yeah, 2 logs. 2 logs would not have been enough, so he needs I think it's over, guys. Such an unfortunate close match. 76 HP, but that is a bad matchup. Anyways, that is about it for the video, guys. Thank you so much to Sparky for coming on. Check out his Twitter in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.